Yo, what's good, Joe? It's your boy here today. We're gonna be reacting late at night. It's a little late, I know, but I like doing streams a little bit later sometimes. So yeah, we're just gonna rock with this, and we're gonna see how it all comes together. All right. So yeah, man, let's get it started. We take a look at. Right, let me do this. And then let me capture up what we got. Watch later. Yeah. How y'all been, by the way? How y'all been? I got school in an hour. It's early afternoon. I bet it's cool though. Alright, I got a couple of Deepwoken videos I wanted to watch. This needs more love. Okay, like, let's see, why does it need more love?
Hey guys.
Yeah, I know, I always loved taking a look at these videos. Okay. Just making sure streams are good.
Today we're gonna be talking about murmurs. Murmurs have always kind of been a thing in Deepwoken that's like, yeah, it's cool that it's there, but you aren't really gonna base your build around it, opposed to how you would with something like an oath or an attunement. So why not make murmurs just the slightest bit more useful? From my general understanding, I can infer that the devs don't want to make it some powerful direct upgrade, and it's perfectly understandable. We love variety in Deepwoken, which is why in verse 2 they added rhythm. But I still have an issue with murmurs. Ardor, it's just a direct upgrade, and rhythm is just left in the dust, sitting there and rotting all day, because in all honesty, it's cooler as a concept than it actually is executed in game. Sure, you can get talents like heartbeat sensor to see where people are, and that's a great idea.
Yeah, but it's not even that crazy. You don't really care.
Ardor or Ardor Scream is the obvious choice to go. But what if we could change that? We could expand on this murmur. It has so much to work with. The concept is there. All the groundwork is laid out. So I propose to you, the Deepwoken community, a talent called Sonic. Now,
Sonic. Your M1s allow you to briefly see your enemy's HP.
To briefly see the HP of your enemies upon M1.
I've been seeing people talk about how like rhythm as a whole needs some sort of like sense, like you can sense your opponent's posture, or you can sense your opponent's health. I think being able to sense your opponent's health would be so nice. They need something like that for rhythm.
Put on 8 seconds, similar to all the dead gods. The attribute requirements would be 40 intelligence and 50 willpower. The prerequisites would be murmur, rhythm, and heartbeat sensor. This would be good for PvP and even better for PvE. I think it would allow for a lot of interesting builds and would provide a solid option other than Ardor.
I think it, yeah, I agree.
An advanced talent. This talent would be known as sensory overload. The attribute requirements would also be 40 intelligence and 50 willpower. And the card prerequisites would be a part of the heartbeat sensor skill tree. So it would require heartbeat sensor. This talent would allow you to see the posture and ether of your enemies while eavesdropping. I think this would make rhythm a really solid murmur and an actual option to consider when you're choosing murmur.
I agree.
Instead of just going for a direct damage upgrade with Ardor. So let me know if you guys think that this is a good idea. And if you have ideas of your own talents, make sure to leave that in the comments below. I read them and I'll most likely respond. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And have a good day. A great day. And
okay. Next up, let's look. There's a video. Is Deepwoken dying? This is a very interesting one. Actually, let's see. What are y'all thoughts about that vid? Let me see what y'all said. I can't see what y'all saying nowadays. It's like fucking like, terrible. I agree. Bro, thank you, One Piece. Will there be a GPOX Deepwoken collab? Is this dude again, bro? What up, man? Let him cook. Alright. Let's continue to the next vid.
Before I start the video, it'd be very appreciated if you guys subscribe because only 10.7% of you guys are subscribed. We're getting close to 2,000, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Yo, what's up, guys? And today I want to talk about something every Deepwoken player has been talking or thinking about, and that is the game Deepwoken dying? Honestly, the numbers haven't been looking great. 10K on update day and regular days, and 4K when it's nighttime. But there's multiple reasons to this, so let's talk about them. The first reason is obviously because of Arcane Odyssey. Deepwoken lost a lot of players when this game came out, but I can see them easily coming back.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, there's a chance that the game doesn't die and everyone switches over, which would be very bad for Deepwoken. The second
I don't know.
adding things people love and takes them right away. For example, Shrine of Order. They added Shrine of Order and everyone feels a little off about it. They were excited to make their builds, then noticed how broken it is and what they will have to fight. But people adapted. They love making these crazy.
Okay, is it just me or is it really hard to hear, homie? Hold up, let me see what y'all saying. Okay, I thought that was just me. Hold on. Basically, to summarize what homie was saying, let me summarize it real quick. Hey guys, Trey here. We noticed that Deepwoken's been lacking in terms of players. Recently, only 10,000 on an update day, which is crazy, and 4,500 when it's nighttime. What can possibly explain this? Well, first off, Arcane Odyssey dropped, and well, it did take away some of our players, but we don't know if it's really going to maintain them. It probably won't, but if it does, that spells bad for news for Deepwoken. And then also things such as Shrine of Order, and then he continues.
It's a little off about it. They were excited to make their builds, then noticed how broken it is and what they will have to fight. But people adapted. They love making these crazy builds. They even got used to going against the crazy builds. Deepwoken just takes it all away and takes the fun from making builds. The first Shrine of Order nerf was enough, but for the second time, it's actually insane.
Okay, but did niggas actually enjoy making the Shrine of Order builds, or did they enjoy the product after? Like, I did not fucking enjoy any of my Shrine of Order builds, because it'd be like me pumping one stat, and it'd be like the most boring progression. Like, no, I don't think. If you can find someone who was enjoying that, then make sure to bring them to me, because I'll tell them they're fucking dumb. Because pumping one stat repeatedly so you can immediately get up to it is just like so fucking tedious, especially if it was like charisma or intelligence. That shit was so annoying. So annoying. I don't know who's saying that they enjoyed. They definitely enjoyed. They enjoyed the crafting, the theory crafting, right? Or like pre-planning, and then they enjoyed the product after, but they did not enjoy the progression. Let's not get it twisted.
They just kept nerfing things that are unneeded and things that people are actually having fun with in this game. Another reason, they need to add more content. Okay, adding new cards and stuff is cool, making people go for new builds, but once they test the talents or see a video, they're just gonna think that's cool and find something else to do. Adding Chaser and Etheron obviously wasn't enough, because it took people a few days to master both of them. Now nobody really does Layer 2 for fun. They need to add something that will really get the players hooked, add more to the storyline, add more to the Duke quest. I don't know, just add something that will bring attention right back to the game.
They need to add something that people can't beat in just a couple of days. That's what they really need to add. Stop playing around the bullshit. Stop fucking around with these like bitch ass freshies, bruh. Like, it's so annoying. No wonder, bruh. They need to add some shit that like actually gets like genuine difficulty, bruh. Rag said his game is difficult. You ask like a majority of people who play this game, it is not that difficult, bruh. There's like that disconnect there. I swear to God.
And obviously, I'm not saying add those exact things.
Like,
but you see where I'm going with this. All people do is PvP now.
Exactly.
And there's nothing for PvEers to do, to be honest.
Like, you have the PvEers, but like, even for my PvEers in chat, what do y'all fucking do? Y'all just keep doing Etheron. The same Etheron, the same Layer 2, the same shit. That's all y'all do? That's all y'all niggas do. That's all y'all niggas do. There's no way. There's no way you don't get like immediately like brain rotted. Like your mind just like that doesn't. You must. There's no way. I can't imagine doing that same fucking shit every fucking time. You must be like struggling, like actually like have nothing to eat, like a fucking homeless man on the street, begging for PV content because you're doing the same shit. Imagine like eating the same piece of bread every fucking day. Please let me eat like something different. At least put some fucking bread and maybe give me some soup with some salt on the side, bruh. Like you guys are eating nothing. At least PvP, sure you might fight the same meta builds, but at least you might encounter some different shit from here and there. PV is literally the exact. I cannot stand it. I do not like doing it. I do not like PV. At least when I was doing Hell Mode, that kept me on my. Even though it was bullshit, don't get it wrong, it was bullshit. There were some bullshit moments. That shit at least kept me on my. I knew I was wiping sometimes though. That shit kept me on my toes. At least that shit kept me on my toes. I had to look out. Even to this day, even like the past like month, I think I've wiped like a build or two to helmet. At least that would sometimes keep me on my toes, and most of the time that's because I was with an incompetent team. If you were straight people who know what the fuck they're doing, even then helmet is like not. But at least that kept me on my toes. Here I'm not. I'm like you can like literally like be on your phone while doing layer 2. Like if you like you could like have your friend do the generator, be on your phone waiting for him. Oh, I'm going to the cave. You go to the cave. Your friend's on the phone. You're going to Chaser. And there you go. You can do Chaser. Etheron is the same thing, bro. One nigga's getting the medallion. Bro, come on, bro. They need some real shit where people aren't just like breezing through it, bro. Where competent players are actually struggling. Because if you have the competent top tier players struggling with it, you know what that means? That means everybody else is going to take a lot longer of a time. They're like, well, Akamatsu, I won't be able to access the content. That's not necessarily true. It's just that it's going to take you longer to get through and actually be able to best the content. And then it's going to take you even longer to best the combat or best the content efficiently and effectively, or maybe not even at all. This way, the content lasts way longer for the average player. Of course, for the top tier players, it's always going to be quick most of the time, right? But if the top tier players are struggling, it takes them a while. Well, shit, for the regular average player, boom, you got this much to learn, right? You have this much to learn because everybody is like, whoa, okay. You know what I'm saying? You got like the top tier ROM squadron. That's my analogy I use for top level PV players. They on motherfucking level 40, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Level 45. They just struggling. They trying to figure out, damn, this like little area hard as fuck. Everybody else down at motherfucking level 20s to 30, bro. They still trying to catch up type shit. And so over time, you'll have that progression where boom, they can start to try and catch up as well, bro. And if you want an easy example, I don't think it was a good example, but if you want an example of what this was back then, before Laplace and Layer 2 got added, was literally like enchant progression, right? So, and a lot of people didn't like this, and I don't blame them because it kind of relied on trading and you getting, like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of bullshit, and I agree. But it's a way to view it at least. Like, you would have the top tier players looking for their specific enchants, and they would have like a horde of enchants that they would never trade. They'd be greedy as hell. We all know this. Like the niggas with the lists, right? And then you would have every other average player like basically taking whatever they can get their hands on, right? And it would take them literal months to get like maybe something close to what they want, right? Or to even get enchants that were decent in the first place, right? Well, you have like the top tiers, they don't even have exactly what they want, but they have an abundance of at least something, right? And so you would, even though it's trash, I think it was trash too. I didn't really like that. I never really liked trading like that, even though I was always abusing that shit, right? For content and for fun. I just don't think that was the best example, but it wasn't. I hope it kind of illustrates what I mean by the average player trying to get, or taking a lot longer to get to that level of content, just without the BS, like how trading was. I need to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But yeah, I do think it's just a bit of an issue because a lot of people were initially viewing Layer 2 as the thing that was going to get them to struggle. The thing. Yes, this will be the content that gets me scared. Everyone's like, yo, bro, I'm wiping all my builds to Layer 2. You could like go back, right? You can go back way back then, and you would hear niggas be like, yo, bro, like, dude, yeah, it's going to be tough, bro. Hey, man, I'm not ready to get sent to Layer 2, man. Guess what? You know how they added the 15 drowns thing after Layer 2 dropped? Mistake number one, in my opinion. I'll explain why that's a mistake later. But you know, the thing is, back then, people were expecting, and you can see when I asked it, I can go in the Deepwoken Discord and I'll show you examples. I asked, right? Because I saw this coming. I remember asking, yo, how many drowns y'all think it's going to take until we get sent to Layer 2? And niggas would be like, probably 10. 20, I think 20. People were expecting Layer 2 to be like, shit, you get sent down here, you're probably going to wipe. You could see it way back before Verse 2 was dropping. I was asking all around. They were like, I don't know if I'm ready for this Layer 2, man. Yeah, this shit might be difficult. I don't want to drown now. And now you know what it is now, right? First, they didn't roll it out like that, right? They wrote out Layer 2, right? Layer 2 turns out to be something that is not extremely difficult, but extremely tedious for people who know how to do it, right? And so then they introduced the thing with the 15 drowns, and guess what? Instead of it being something that was supposed to be like yo, this is extremely difficult, now your characters are expected to wipe, it's like, yo, you reach this drown point, now in order to do what you want, you're expected to go through extremely tedious forms of escaping, right? Not actually scary and difficult, but just tedious and takes your time, right? And I think that's the biggest issue people have with the 15 drowns thing. If they rolled out Layer 2 as a genuinely very scary, very difficult, harsh, Rogue Lineage Tundra-like environment. I use Rogue Lineage Tundra because a lot of people like to refer to when Rogue Lineage first dropped its Tundra update, when it was like, yo, this shit is dangerous, right? That level of like new, scary, dangerous exploration type shit, right? If they would have rolled it out like that, right, where it's like, yo, this is where you're going to probably wipe, be very careful, you want to go down with very experienced people, you might want to go down with squads, and they rolled out the drown thing at the same time, the expectation would have been set from the start. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? they wrote it out as very, very tame. A little difficulty curve at first, and then difficulties like here once you know everything. Right here from the start, and then immediately after you watch like one guide video, the expectations and the difficulty drops from like up here, like down by like 80%, right? And then the final 20% is like experiencing actually playing it and knowing the ins and outs, right? And then you have the top tier players able to breeze through it, find like 2-minute cheeses to chaser and shit like that. Like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? You see how I'm saying? Like, literally like a 4-minute cheese to chaser. People finding ways to, it's crazy, dude. And it was also stacked on the fact that explorers were able to just run through layer 2 like a, I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna make that analogy. However, I hope you guys see my point with saying why I feel it's just a bit of a shame that layer 2 could have been that PvE that people yearned for, right? Instead, the PvE players who were really looking for something got what they were looking for about, I guarantee you, a month at most. And now, guess what? It's back to videos like this appearing on YouTube. Is Deepwoken dying? People complain about how there's nothing to do. What a shocker when layer 2 is not providing at all because it's repetitive and it's tedious. That's the truth of the matter, right? It's repetitive and tedious. That's why you see so many people complaining about the 15 drowns thing, right? It's not one or the other. If they want to make it the tame, soft, easy, hey, you can run straight through, keep it that way. Don't make us forced to do it. That's what people are saying. If they want to go the hard route where they're like, yo, you're supposed to be drowning, my nigga, they need to go all in. They can't be, they're kind of stuck in the middle. They can't go all in because if they go all in, there's going to be huge community outrage, huge upset. People are like, what? No, I can't wipe my build now. It's no, because people were too used to the little tame shit. But if they go tame all the way, people are going to be like, yo, that shit is easy, man. Wasn't layer 2 supposed to be difficult? You see what I'm saying? Now they're stuck right now, I think, a little bit in the middle, more to the right of the tame shit, but a little bit stuck in the middle by introducing the 15 drowns thing, making Chaser, you know how like they made Chaser like hard and then they like kind of it was a little too much. They backtracked into the middle, right? Where Chaser was made, you see how I'm saying, right? They made him harder, but it was end up being more tedious. They can't like pick a side, in my opinion. They need to pick a side and stick to it. Right? Because they're doing too much of this in the middle shit, and I think they need to go one way or the other. And I don't mind either one. I just wish they would like, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all see what I'm saying about that, right? How like they kind of have aspects that are like easy and like not too bad, but then they want to make stuff harder, right? And then now it's just tedious. It's like stuck in the middle. They can't decide, and they need to decide, in my opinion. So hopefully the next PvE shits they drop hard to the point. No fucking around. Don't pander to these like freshy shitters in like player general. Actually tough. You already have layer 2. Revert the tediousness of layer 2. Keep it as the little freshy baby shit. Whatever, right? Light hook, diver drill. Keep it as is. The next shit they introduce, full in. Do not hold back. Please, I beg. I'm on my fucking knees. Make it like actually something that is genuinely tough, genuinely scary, whatever they need to do. Something that makes me feel something when I play it. Something that makes me on YouTube look up, yo, what is like a good guide for it? And I actually see different results or different takes on how to do things instead of it. Literally look on every layer 2 guide. Guess what? The exact same steps. Exact same setups. The exact same thing. Instead, I want to look it up and I get different alternatives, different paths, different builds that I can use, or different team setups that I can take in order to tackle something, instead of it just being, hey, you can do this, take this short ass guide, do generator, run through these things, you get it. And you can do it on any build no matter what. You notice that, right? How in every single layer 2 guide, no matter what build you're on, most of the time you're fine. You're lickety split. You can run on pretty much every single build. And some people say that's not an issue. And if you say that, okay, that's cool. But I think it'd be a lot more interesting if you had to at least come up with interesting and smart team compositions to take on a specific boss or situation. Where if you're missing a certain component of something, you might be struggling in some aspects, you might need some help, right? Or you better be very, very good at dealing with this certain situation if you're missing out on someone with this, right? Just giving you a couple examples here, right? It doesn't even have to be the craziest shits, right? It can be very simple, but I just think the fact that you can do it with everything, any build, super easily. My fault. Super easily, and the only difference between a solo player and like a team comp is the speed at which you do things. Right? If they're all equally skilled, it's just kind of ridiculous. And I think having effective, smart, genius teams, setups or compositions, and different attempts at doing stuff should be a lot more rewarding to the player by you being able to actually defeat or get further in some whatever sort of PV setup that you have. Should be the way things are, instead of it just being like, oh, you know, I'm just a dude who watched a 20-minute guide and I'm able to do everything on a mediocre build that I didn't even give much time or setup to. I hope that explains that's basically my entire sticks, bruh. My entire explanation of shit. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat, because I was just kind of like rambling. Not even rambling. That wasn't ramble. That was just me explaining pretty much my entire thoughts around everything regarding layer 2 difficulty. It's just I was just tired of it being like the thing we skip. Like, think about it. All the focus is on PvP, bruh. You ever notice that? It feels like all the focus was switched to PvP. People are always talking about Chime. People are always talking about ranked. Rank this, nerf this. This is the meta. This is that. PvE was fucking forgotten about. You know why? Repetitive, tedious BS. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. People were scared that they were going to wipe in layer 2, and now you can see suggestions every day asking for people to remove the drown counter for the depths. Yep. Goes back to your multi-path concept, sort of, in a way. I think they need to take to the extremes of both sides. For example, the God of Unity from Elder Souls. Changing layer 2 is a bad idea. They should save this for layer 3 on top of Misery for layer 3 so we get the difficulty. That was my thing. At this point, I think it's already too late to really kind of try and change up layer 2. They can, but I feel like no matter what change you do to layer 2, Kamiya's going to bitch about things. Definitely not going to have a fun time dealing with the bitching. And I think they should just like take their losses, move on, recuperate. We need more rarity of the game and make them undroppable. Rarity, yeah. Yeah, I also saw a lot of people saying that that's another thing too. I don't know how much people actually care about this. I can kind of see why though. A lot of people, and I kind of agree. I personally agree because I played the game a lot during this time. During the Dark Ages, which is what I consider Deepwoken's like lowest player count era, where like it was only getting like a max of 5 to 6,000 players at peak times, right? Peak NA times, which is really bad. The only things that you could argue that they were to do was to really like grind for like enchants and shit. And some people were making arguments that like, yo, like we need something to grind for again, because at the moment there's nothing to do except PvP. And at the end of the day, let me go get something to blow my nose. At the end of the day though, if you really think about it, like, actually I disagree. I was going to say that no matter what, PvP is always going to probably be the end game, but in some cases it doesn't have to be. If there's like a really tough PvE, like I suggested previously, like something like the Void Tower, a really tough endgame dungeon, an infinite mode that is at least unique enough to keep people interested. There could be some cool shit for PvE too, but a lot of people would consider PvP like right now the current like actual last thing to do. Mainly because there really isn't much else for PvE players. But I forgot what I was gonna ramble about. I'm not gonna. I literally forgot what I was gonna ramble about. My fault. Do you think it would change anything if Layer 2 was open world rather than dungeon? I think a lot would change if Layer 2 was open world. For sure. There would be a lot that would change. If you die in the depths, you don't wipe, you get sent to Layer 2 where you can get invaded. Do you think the devs are working on Void Tower? I have no clue. Concept, remove Bowman's Watch, replace with Void Tower Ferryman. Basically, to get in, you have to kill the Ferryman. That's an interesting idea. To like unlock it, you have to kill the Ferryman. That would definitely make a lot of people have to fight the Ferryman again. Interesting. I need Scobo and above level NPCs from now on. Make Ironwoken a default passive for slots. Make players have to spend Echoes on like to receive items. Where's the Parasol? That's also a good question. They could add more mob variants or more mobs like every other weekly. Add a new variant or a new mob. Yeah. The thing is, it's very difficult to add in new mobs, or not very difficult. It's just very time consuming, because the process for making mobs is like one at a time, basically. Like you have to have someone like make the model, rig it up, then make the atoms, and then they actually gotta like code it after. That's like the final step in making the AI. Then they gotta test it. Then they gotta polish and balance. Final testing, and then so there's a lot to it. A lot to that. They should add a new attunement. I agree. I think a new attunement would go crazy. The mob variants were very underwhelming in hindsight. What I will say, the mob variants. Oh, like the lightning scuba, the ice lionfish, and the red crabbo. As cool as I love still seeing them, I still love seeing it. It's like, oh shit, yo. Two things I'll say about the mob variants. I think the mob variants, right? In hindsight, I think the lightning scuba was like the one with the biggest changes. My fault. Anyway, the lightning scribble was the one with the biggest change to how it kind of functions, right? Where it does like elemental damage, and it stuns you with its M1s, and it does like the little lightning. I think that one has like the biggest changes. I think maybe if they would have added in a little bit more differences for like the ice lionfish and like the red crabbo, they could have been a lot more substantial and a lot more like, yo, these mob variants are actually different in a way, instead of just like people claiming they were just recolors, right? Like I think my example, I was like actually like begging Archmage to like make the lionfish AI any way different whatsoever, instead of it just being like stat increases. Like I think my idea was like, yo, Archmage, I think it'd be really cool if like even the slightest change, I was like, yo, instead make the lionfish, right? Make its beam the fast beam every single time, right? And then you could have like a cool, what is it called? Is it called an oxymoron? Whatever. Anyway, you can have like a cool like duality where like it slows you down with its ice beam, but then it's also firing really fast every time. And dealing with like the fast beam, like have you ever actually had to try and dodge the fast beam? It's like actually kind of tough. Like trying to dodge like the fast lionfish beam is actually really difficult. I thought something like that would be kind of cool. Maybe they could give, I don't know. You see what I'm saying though, right? I was just saying like something like that would be kind of interesting. And then for the red crabbo, not the red crabbo, the red pteropod. That one, pteropod only has like, it literally has like one attack where it's like the same animation, but like it attacks in 3 different ways. It is like the single one, the triple shits, and then the one where it's like 12 in a row, and it's like the same animation. Genius, I know. But how do you add another attack to that when 3 of its attacks are already like the same animation? I was just saying for that one, maybe they could make it actually like hurt your blood bar like significantly. That way it was an actual threat in hell mode. And something you have to watch out for, because it would like drain your health bar. I was thinking like maybe like 1 bar or half of a blood bar every time you get hit by it. Just so like it's very scary. But I don't know. That was just, they could have made it still more substantial. Super asses 400 viewer chat, 10 paths or new attunement. Everyone said new attunement. Is Super streaming right now? Or was this a while ago? You still talking? It was good soul. The extra bleed damage is supposed to have. Yeah, it doesn't even work. I know, bro. I know, bro. Look, Fallen. I literally like pointed it out that it didn't work. It's literally just a recolor. Again, bro. Like it doesn't even have to be that crazy of a change. The thing is, they can be lazy with it as long as they like make it noticeably different gameplay wise. I think. Even like the drops are not really like everyone was going after the red pteropod back then because it dropped the Evan Spear, right? Now Evan Spear is like, okay, you're like, sure, you know, whatever. People don't really care about it as much nowadays. Even now people are like, there's no reason to really hunt them, but if that at least gave a little bit of like a little bit of a difference in how you fight them, I think that would have been really cool. Especially the ice lionfish being like always the fast beam would have been really interesting to see. The lightning scubo, I think that one was fine. It made it definitely different enough. And then the red crabos, like, or the red pteropods, the worst one. They definitely need to do something with that one. The void tower would be a golden opportunity to add really rare artifacts, and the higher floor you go, the higher drops are. I don't know. I just feel like the only reason why I like the void tower idea is because I feel like it's the easiest way they can implement really tough PvE without having to like give it like a cool lore reason, or like they have to build like an entire new area, an entire new island. It can just be the simplest shit if they want to, and they can mix and match monsters that we have never seen together before, like overworld monsters combining with one layer 2 mob and another layer 1 monster for a specific scene or environment or challenge, something that we see that is not super common. It can even be something crazy like they can make use of enemy. I've already explained how they can make uses of enemy modifiers as an interesting, unique way to remaster or remake or remix the content that we currently have without having to make an entire new mob. We see this in other games all the time, literally all the time, enemy modifiers, right? It just doesn't make sense as to why Deepwoken wouldn't have something like that when we already have something like Drowned Monsters, which is literally like I'm not gonna lie, it's the laziest enemy modifier possible. It's like more health, more damage. That's it. That's it. And that's like the only modifier that we have for monsters. A purple aura that gives it 3 times more health and 2 times more damage. Wow. You see what I'm saying? That's the only enemy modifier we have. The only one, and it's the laziest one we could, like the laziest. I mean the utmost laziest one they can come up with. They can definitely come up with way more interesting enemy modifiers to spice up the gameplay a little bit. Way more interesting ones. And we got one of them, and it's the laziest one. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, that they could definitely come up with way more better enemy modifiers for something like a void tower, because it fits more of like a dungeon arcade sort of environment that could serve to make some interesting PvE situation / mechanics. That's it. That's the only reason why I think, and they could like excuse the lore there. They can make up any bullshit. The people in chat just want content and don't take into consideration how long it would take to push out these trash suggestions. Yeah, some things do take time. Let's not forget. Let's make Pteropod drop a really rare weapon that is really sought after, but then make it every singular chest in layer 2 drop Evan Spears. We just need more unique loot pools and weapons, especially anims and crit anims. I mean, they could always do that, but I think it's also about making gameplay for PvE just more interesting in general as well. Because at the moment, I don't feel like they're... I mean, at least with like layer 2, you have to like destroy the blood jars, and you have to put in the little bone things. That's cool. We haven't had something like that yet. So maybe more interesting boss fight mechanics. Maybe some monsters with some interesting mechanics would be cool too. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. That's really all I have to say about all that shit. Let's continue reacting.
People now, Chomps took over the game, and there's nothing for PvEers to do, to be honest. People hop on, play Choms, they make a new build, do one Etheron for Medallion, then make a Master Armor, and hop straight into Choms. People easily get bored of this stuff. All I'm saying is Deepwoken needs to figure something out, because I do not want this game to die. But as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.
But Goozer needs to apologize. Let's see what the worst change was.
What's good with y'all? We gonna be over Shrine of Order. I know y'all seen 15 other videos on it, and it's because I don't know what they were smoking when they made this update. I mean, how you gonna add all these talents that require high rec, and then you get rid of the shrine that makes it so you can have high rec talents without a dog shit build? Like, it just doesn't make sense in any way you try to slice it. So obviously the nerf is just you can only reduce a stat by 25. So if you go 75 fortitude, max is gonna go down by as 50. So it's gonna go from 75 to 50, and this just, it doesn't make sense. You can't go brick wall anymore unless you want to really have a fortitude like centered build. You can't just mix mix it up. If you're on a PvE build, you have to have high fortitude. If you're on a PvP build, you gotta have high fortitude. And the main argument everybody was saying, oh, well, I have to go Shrine of Order to make a good build that can compete. Bro, no, you did not. You just have to have a good build to be good. Like, I know that in the high ranks, you really do need a good build, but Shrine of Order or not, there's still gonna be people doing the same damn build because it was like that before. There's always gonna be clone troopers going no attunement. Now, I will say, I am a clone trooper too. No attunement's fun to me. But even then, Shrine of Order nerf just buffed attunement list because now you have to go attunement list for those 100 or 80 extra stat points that you put in attunement to get the talents you want. Because there's just no way to get high talent Rex without Shrine of Order. This shit just...
Actually, I've heard this argument that, like, for example, let's just say you want to go like an ice medium build. It's like almost impossible to make any sort of decent build, and you want to get like neural overload. Like, that's 85 intelligence, 100 medium, 80 ice. Like, there's very little points that you can work around with after that to make like a decent build. Like 25 into agility, maybe you won't be able to get exo, you won't be able to get any strength talents, no charisma talents. So I can see the argument there if you're talking about if you're like a player who, like, how people could say this is like literally just encouraging people to only go no attunement with current Shrine of Order.
Just doesn't make sense. Instead of completely gutting the shrine, they should have went back, done little changes, made the downside a little greater than it was, instead of gutting it and leaving it to die. Because now that's just gonna be a useless shrine like half the other ones, like Shrine of Blasphemy and shit like that. There's just no point to go anymore unless you're really going to triple attunement build. Now, really, the only people I've seen complain about Shrine of Order, what it was pre-nerf, was people that literally didn't play Chime, or if they did, they sucked ass. I don't think anybody was really complaining about it because everybody wanted talents with high recs and shit like that. There was just no reason to not go Shrine of Order to get a good talent that you really wouldn't be able to get without sacrificing half your build stats. So what I'm really trying to say about all this, just please.
I think, in my opinion, though, if I had to have nerfed it, I would have just... People think I'm crazy for this change. I think they should just given it like a max health debuff or like a strong enough nerf to all current Shrine of Order builds. That way, if you want to go for those high rec talents and still have a good build, you have to play like a little bit of a bit of a penalty for it, if you will. Right. Because I always bring up this example, and I know people say it's an informed choice. It's about it being blah, 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 blah. But people, like, sacrifice 10% of their health in rogue lineage just for fucking extra snap. Like an extra snap magic. Here, you have a lot more potential to get... If we're talking old Shrine of Order, you have a lot more potential to get a lot more good talents that can be decently build-changing. A lot more effective than just, like, a snap in rogue. So, the fact that... I don't know, I still feel like even if they added, like, a 10% or 5... Even 5, it could be as low as 5% if people want to bitch. Even if they did add some sort of health debuff, I guarantee you people would have still been going the old, or people would have still been going that old Shrine of Order setup, even with a max health debuff, just because they want to get those talents and still maintain a build that can somewhat, I guess, arguably compete. Right? They would have to just determine if like the negative downside would be worth it. And I think that's a lot more interesting of a conversation than just leaving the old builds to be kind of whatever, right? And then having the new builds not be able to catch up. That's my opinion. This video wouldn't have been made if Shrine was released the way it was right now. This man is really saying you shouldn't have to invest a lot for points for a high instead. Yeah, that too, right? If it released this way, people wouldn't be complaining. But it's like, at the same time as well, I'd rather do the traditional no shrine builds than shrine builds. I'm just giving a point, like, if they gave it like a harsh enough nerf to where people actually have to like consider if it really is worth the harsh nerf, not harsh nerf, but like the harsh downside, if it's worth getting all the talents that you usually wouldn't be able to get. And I think that would have caused for some more interesting diversity than just it being like, oh, it's different now, you know what I'm saying? It's like a 400 health build max. No, not really. With some shrine builds, you can get up to like 550, 600 health. Like, I don't know why people are acting like shrine builds are just like these like low health. Like, no. Have you not seen niggas in Chime with like a good ass, like, okay, let's just say you have like 530 health. Let's just say you lose. Let's just say they do like 7.5%. right? That's minus 40 health, right? So you're going from 530 to 490, right? If they really went as big as like, you're going from 530 to 477. The difference will be, you can feel it, but then you have to ask yourself, okay, is it worth my tap dancer? Is it worth my all the dead gods? Some people say no. Okay. Some people might say yeah. It just depends on how they fine tune the percentage of like if it was a max health debuff or if it was like you get less healing, whatever it is, something that affects combat. If it was something that affects combat directly, I think it would be more interesting to see people consider it. Yo, is this really worth the downside? Instead of it just being again, right? Because I've been fighting in Chamon builds with 450 to 500 and I'm fine. I'm still in top 100 with a build with just 500 health. And one of my builds on my main account only has like 450. And even though it's like, damn, I get hurt, I'm still able to fight. I don't know. I hope that makes sense.
Please revert Shrine of Order or just reduce the nerf a little bit. Make it so instead of 25, it's 40. I can reduce the thing by 40. I go 80 fortitude, it goes down to 40. I can work with that. But I cannot work with going 100 fortitude and that shit only getting reduced to 70. I mean, there's really no point to go with like instead of, like I said, triple attunement builds. And then if they try to nerf any Shrine of Order users that got Shrine of Order pre-nerf, that is going to be insane. Like, if they try to do that, I don't even know what they must be on some wild shit at Monad Studios if they try to nerf people that got it before. Because right now, people that abuse the mantra thing, where they could get a free mantra from something when they pass it down, shit, they didn't get any disciplinary actions like that. Like, I just don't know how to say it. They are doing so much shit for no reason with Shrine of Order. Why'd you even add it in the first place if you're just gonna gut the shit out of it? But yeah, that's really all I have to say about Shrine of Order. If y'all agree, like, sub, go do hashtag capital S, lowercase o, capital O.
I don't know why he's acting like it'd be a big deal if they did do something to it, bro. If you're complaining about the builds, nerfs, you're just an abuser of it. Your builds, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people bitch about it. It's like, okay. Like, I think people just maybe you just relied on it too much, my guy. I don't know what to tell you. We were saying, like, they were making, like, the most, like, unique and interesting builds. Like, it wasn't just clone troopers. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, we're really acting like people were making, like, some super... Like, there were some people who were making some pretty interesting, cool builds. But in reality, 95% of it, I guarantee you, was, like, the same clone trooper shit. Same people going Tap Dancer. Same people going Dead Gods. You might have, like, the Brick Wall, maybe for PvE. For PvP, not really. But really, it was just Tap Dancer and Dead Gods. Like, why are we, like, trying to, like... Or, like, and then, like, 55 Charisma for, like, the Charm Towns. Like, why are we acting like that wasn't like the main shit people were doing, bro? And then no attunement on top of that. Like, what is this nigga on about? I don't know. He's acting like it's like the most diverse shit in, like, I say like the more diverse shit was like the triple attunement builds, maybe at best. In reality, though, most people were just doing Dead Gods, Tap Dancer, the 55 Charisma talents, occasionally for PvE. You can argue, sure, maybe like Brick Wall, PvE builds. Some cool, interesting PvE builds here and there, but most of the time it was the same shits. And if not, people were doing like that, or they were doing like, they would do that, or instead of like no attunement, they would do Light's Final Toll, and then like an attunement, maybe like Fire, and then they would also do like Tap Dancer, Dead God, etc. So I don't know why people are acting like it was like the most crazy, unique thing, like it was allowing them to go crazy, unique shit, right? When in reality, most of the time it wasn't that crazy. Let me see what people say in the comments, though. I think they should delay these talents with absurd requirements. I feel like the entire point of the power going to 20 so they increase the max power. With the current max build, it just doesn't work. Well, it just doesn't work. Well, it's not that it doesn't work. It's just that you think it doesn't work in terms of trying to, like, fit the meta and fight against the meta. That's what he means by it doesn't work. You can do it. It's not like you're getting prevented by doing it. Like, you have enough points to go for those max talents. It's just that you feel as if it wouldn't compete with the current meta in question. You can do it. Don't act like you can't. It's just that you would have to ask yourself, would this even be able to compete? And some people are like, probably wouldn't be able to. That's why they're thinking like, okay, now the new Shrine of shits. Yes, no more builds with all Dead God, Reinforced Armor, Tap Dancer, Cheap Shot. Like, literally, bro, like, thank you. Finally, some nigga who's, like, speaking up with some common sense, bro. But at the same time, if someone wants to argue that like you can still do that, it's just a buff to attunementless, I can understand that. Yeah, okay, bro. Nerf's trying to order and add a 100 charisma 15. There's literally no point of the talent if nobody's gonna have it if half your investment points for one talent. Where's my videos? You're balancing the entire game around Chime. Why would trying to order need to be nerfed if it wasn't busted for PvP builds? But yeah, only thing I'll take a look at is like if people were saying that. Only argument I'd see is people were saying that no attunement would ironically, I'm trying to nerf the meta, would only be like the only viable Shrine of Order thing you could use after this because they have the points still to afford to get those high investment talents regardless, right? So you can make the argument that it would further push the meta in the direction of it being no attunement Shrine of Order instead of it being more interesting builds. But I don't know, bro. I feel like that's just like a no attunement issue, bro. That they'd have to probably like look at and figure out what they could do about that. I don't even know. They need to remove the 75% thing on Sea Runner. Keep the nerfs, but remove that ass downside. To be fair, I'd rather they nerf all talents people are mainly going Shrine of Order than nerf Shrine of Order itself. The damage has already been done. They do not need to turn builds OG forever. I mean, sure, I guess, but like, kind of sucks though. It's like, damn, like every like cool or like interesting idea that is like decently powerful is now going to be like mid. Like all future like high investment talents are now just gonna have to be like trash because Shrine of Order exists. I don't know. It kind of sucks, you know. Give it an actual debuff. Shrine of Order is still fine. Instead of using it to get high rec talents, you can use it to get a lot of the low rec ones. Triple Attunement Vision Shaper just Kruda. Or whatever they do, I'm curious. Let's see what Dumpstorms has to say.
I can't feel my organs.
You're not supposed to feel those anyways. You're good, man. You get up. You're not supposed to feel them. How is you striking?
Who the f is moaning? What's going on, everybody? Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be, and welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we got a huge content patch featuring a whole new host of high investment talents for intelligence, agility, and charisma. This is a huge W because it means that there's a reason to do things like unbind your intelligence and charisma stats now. We also got a couple of new agility talents, but these for the most part seem pretty low impact and don't really strike me as the kind of thing you'd drop over 75 points into agility for. Anyway, though, I'm sure every Deepwoken YouTuber and their mother has done a video going over all the talents, so feel free to go find one of them. I recommend Nano Prodigy's video. He goes over all of them. As well as the new talents came a massive nerf for Shrine of Order, which has been getting beaten to the ground since like 4 patches ago. It's genuinely depressing. I thought it was pretty fair in its current state and actually just started using it again to make some pretty cool hybrid builds, and bam, just like that. All the 3 element build ideas in the world were silenced in an instant. So basically what this nerf did was it made it so that the Shrine of Order can only reduce a stat by up to 25 points, which is kind of insane. It means going high investment for these new talents and then Shrine of Ordering is a lot less effective, which hurts their chance of getting any use by anyone one that isn't attunementless. It's kind of sad because I wanted to try these new talents, but I didn't want to have to resort to making a clone drone attunementless medium build, so this patch has me feeling a bit disappointed, but oh well. What's up, baby? What you want? Sorry about that, my cat meowed at me. Anyway, but I did want to talk about some other stuff for the more dedicated viewers. Here's where my retention drops, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the roadmap for my channel and my content going forward because, as you might know, I intend on branching out and trying some new things fairly soon in the future. That being said, there's still plenty going on with Deepwoken, so for the next couple weeks probably, I'm going to be working on a pretty unique style of video. I'll tell you guys more about that in a future upload, but for now, I'll be signing out and wishing you guys
Yeah, I think if that's the main reason why you'd want to revert it, I could completely understand that. If your argument was that now I feel I have to be forced to go no attunement in order to make cool, interesting, unique builds, I can understand that. If you liked maybe playing heavy ice, you want to make like a cool grand suitor risk one, now you feel like can't because you're. I mean, they did add the change so you could do like triple attunement and dual attunement now. A lot easier, but oh, why not subbed? Oh, my fault, gang. That's my bad. I'm like not subscribed to like half the YouTubers I need to from like this watch later list. That's why I always react to their content, bro. Thanks for the reminder. What's the background music that Aga uses? 2 Million Up by Peasy, Trial, Phoenix, Ace Attorney. Those are like the main two I use. Shrine is dumb. If you want 3 attunements with the best mentors of all attunements, you shouldn't be able to get the OP talents as well. They can nerf it by blocking attunementless users from using Shrine. I genuinely don't get what these people are talking about. I used to run tap dancer builds before verse 2, and these people are saying that they... Yeah, exactly. No. Fallen, I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember in the chapter Discord, people were just starting to talk about like how tap dancer was worth the investment. If the talents are good enough, people will go them. Like, I remember people were saying... I don't know if it was like Marm or... I forgot who was saying it. But there was someone who was like going tap dancer, and like a few others were doing it, right? Or no, a few people were starting to go dead gods too. Either Dead Gods or Tap Dancer. And this was before Shrine of Order. And people were saying it was worth the investment. So I don't want to... I feel like it's bullshit now. I feel like people are just too akin... Or not akin. People are too used to it being... people are too used to it being... Like, too used to Shrine of Order, bruh. Yeah, I know that's some BS, man. I know that's some BS. People were saying that you need to do Shrine of Order. I think that's kind of cap. You don't need to, in my opinion. Where you get this jacket? Oh, this hoodie, I got it from Korea, if you're wondering. Alright. Break your limits. How to get level 21. That's a 49-second video.
What's up? Today I wanted to talk about a bug that allows you to get 3 more decks of cards, basically giving you an extra level. Now, this glitch is really easy.
It was made.
Requires one thing
6 hours.
Being that you have unlocked special skills, engage in critical attack before on a different slot. Now, after your character reaches level 20, all you have to do is speak to the NPCs that give you these echo talents, and you're given 3 free stacks of talents. I've been testing another variant similar to this glitch, so maybe expect a video like this one tomorrow. Thank you, and have
What is this? What is it? Yeah, I remember this. I don't think this is a bug, gang. Look at this. If you make... Doesn't give you... Okay. Well, whatever, anyway, let's just go to the next vid. Get this talent.
Let's go with y'all boys. Before I start the video, I want to say only 14% of you who are actually watching me or actually subbing me. So if you could please sub as I'm close to reaching my goal of 2K, it would help out a lot. Now today I wanted to talk about a talent I've seen a lot of people bring up, and honestly this talent has huge potential. The talent I'm talking about is neural overload. It takes 85 intelligence. Now this talent allows you to input up to 4 copies of each mantra ingredient instead of being limited to 3. This talent allows you to modify Shadow Gun and make it as big as it used to be pre-nerf.
Kinda, not really.
Now it's not just for those talents. If you guys remember,
Just as long as it used to be, but not as fat. It was way fatter.
Now I'm yet to test this talent as it just came out yesterday's update, but by the description it just speaks for itself. If I were you and I was gonna make an attunement build, I would get this talent. Yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. If you stayed to the end, type 2K soon in the comments, and also what's your guys' thoughts and opinions on this talent, and will you be getting it? Oh yeah, and also don't forget to hit that like and sub button, and as always, y'all boys have a blessed day.
Is that all the discussion vids? Man, I stacked up on a couple good ones today. Thank goodness. Anything else that I might have missed out on? Because I love discussing and reacting. Secret Gale Tech. Ooh, okay. Let's check this out.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showcasing my Gale Blindseer build.
I'm awful for being mad quiet.
So the reason why I went Blindseer with Gale is because when I use Tranquil Circle, right, and then I M1 someone, it procs a World Without Song. And every time I proc a World Without Song and then M1 them again, it gives me a speed boost. So, and a speed boost will also proc Speed Demon. So I'll just be doing more damage, just running around them, and doing lots of damage, you know. So just test it out in Chime now. Okay, first match is Vision Shaper Lightning Hero Blade. I think he's gonna be doing like one of those clone spam builds, but we'll see. Oh, he's dual element. Kinda unique. Maybe spamming mantras, so it's perfect. Oh, he walked up to it. Perfect. Oh, it's almost right. I did like 30%. Alright, here we go. Like you see, it proc suffocation.
Wait, hold up now.
Alright, here we go. Like you see, it proc
Huh, it did. What the fuck?
couldn't get enough hits.
Man, this dude is S holding like crazy. Holy fuck.
There we go. That's how we got it. Detonation rapier. Oh, I dislike light rapiers. Shadow. All good ones. I think this might be a shrine build. Oh yeah, see that's really stuff.
Oh, it does proc it off M1. That's kind of cracked. Cool little tech. Aga, I need a time for a video. What do you need? I thought you knew about this, Aga. Nope, I did not. I did not know about that. Cool little bug. Alright, no views? Fuck it. I'll be your first view gang. I'm not gonna lie. I can't see a difference. I'm just gonna say hi. I'll be the first few. This talent is crazy. All right, let's see why this talent is crazy,
What's
man.
good with y'all boys? It's Ricey, and we back with another one. So basically, I just wanted to talk about a card, like a really good talent that everybody keeps shaming on, and everybody, like nobody takes it. I don't understand why, but it's such a good card. So basically, I'm gonna be talking about Return to the Dark Ages.
Okay, hold up, man. He's saying nobody takes this card is kind of crazy. But let's hear what he has to say.
Mantra damage is cut by 35%.
Because I think a lot of people take this talent. But
Also cut by 35%. And this talent gives plus 5 HP, which is just a plus on top of it. But first of all, if you have a talent like Tough Love or you have Overflowing Dam, then that's like 2 modifiers on top of that. So you get 25% extra damage from that. So technically, if you do that, Return to the Dark Ages is only taking around like 10% of your original damage. Holy shit, this is confusing. So if you have Return to the Dark,
wait.
holy shit, this is confusing. Like,
Wait, but that didn't even make. But okay, the 35% is talking about mantra damage. Tough Love is 10% damage, okay, no matter what. But 15% overflowing damage for your M1s. So how does that? How does that?
percent of your original damage.
Okay.
Holy shit, this is confusing.
It is confusing. Let me tell you that.
Return to the Dark Ages with Tough Love and Overflowing Dam, and that's basically only like a 10% reduction from your original damage. So technically, you're only losing 10% of your mantra damage, and you still get that 35% damage cut from you. And then on top of that, if you stack something like Black Diver, which gives you plus 30% elemental armor, then technically you would have around like 65% mantra damage reduced to you. But hey, I could be wrong about this. Tell me if I am in the comments, because I really haven't tested it out yet. But when I had it on my Crit Blade build, that's what it really was basically like that. It made it so like I only had 10% taken from my mantras, but I had like 60% reduction, and I only had like 460 HP on that. So it was just like a really tanky build. Like, of course this would make you like super duper tanky. That's basically like the whole point of this talent. But yeah, if y'all did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. And I am so close to 4K, man, just 4K. I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.
All right. I got DM'd you. I'll check it out after. You get overflowing, then, but it doesn't work. It's probably more ring of casters, and then, but even then, it doesn't really work. It doesn't like, it's not additive. It's like multiplicative. Hard word. That's an 8-minute long video. Movement tech is kind of interesting. Maybe I'll check that out another day. Okay, I can't put it in watch later. New Shadow Up and Spark? What the fuck? Man, where's the Shadow Eruption Spark, bruh? No. I said Flame Eruption, man. Get some NFL rings later on, so I'm about to head to bed. I took some NyQuil and I should probably be heading to sleep. Beating the layer 2 with no M1s. This actually sounds like an interesting video, like mantras only or something. Cool, quick video. Sounds interesting. Alright, alright. Well, I think for now, I'm probably gonna head out. Call it a day, boys. That shit is loud. Hold up. There we go. Appreciate you guys for pulling up. I know it's a little bit late. Sorry about that. I want to do 2 streams. March is here, bruh. Did you react to my video yet? I did not. I was about to head to bed, but I guess. Maybe I'll talk in the stream mode and Discord in a bit, but I'll react to your. I'll see your video next time, Valkis, if you want me to check it out. Right now, DM me too, and so I'll also talk to you if you're still there. You thought about elemental reactions? Deepwoken Genshin did that as well, like dual team becoming meta because you got a cool buff and debuff related builds. It's March, yeah. For me, it's March 1st. Alright, I'm wiping the MLK build. Yeah, no more Black History Month. Appreciate you guys pulling up once again, and I will catch y'all later, alright?